4th of March, haircut. It's after work at 6 o'clock. Sun is pretty much down now. Look at that. We'll start breaking the ground. This was a patch that was obviously used as an allotment before. The rest of it was a bit too wild, so I'm going to dig this up. I'm going to get some compost in, start preparing the beds for the first plants. Really exciting. It's exciting to break ground. And look, new forks. That's not going to say new and clean for long. Best get to it before the sun disappears completely. It's 6:30, look, dark. The sun has gone behind the horizon, long behind the horizon. You can't see this, we'll have to come back in daytime. But I tell you what, I owe the gardener that was here before me a debt of gratitude. I found 2 stones in this, you can't see it, 2 by 2 metre squared plot. 2 stones, a few weeds, great soil. We're going to put some manure and things in that, but yeah, the first bit of the garden is done in the dark where you can't see it. You'll have to use your imagination. And on that note, we'll come back and it'll be daylight. Magic. I say daylight, it's not exactly sunny, is it? Now, I've managed to dig twice in the evenings this week. The problem is, I finish work at 5:30 and by the time I get here, I have 10 minutes of sunlight. Sun goes down and I'm scrabbling around in the dark, so I haven't been able to do that much. Oh, come down here. But I'll show you what I've done. Is I've made a little square to get started. I think the problem with this plot is, the challenge with this plot is it's so big. Put my spade down. It's so big and it's on a slope and it was covered in undergrowth and the old soil was a bit knackered. It's a huge job. Huge job for one person with limited time. So what I'm doing is, look, there we go. I've got a square going now. I'm taking a bit at a time, getting some plants in because they need to get going, and then gradually I'll start clearing, I'll start improving the soil. Let's have a look at the soil we've got so far. It's kind of greyish brown. I think there's a lot of clay in here. I've put some manure in, dug it in. It's fairly dead, this soil. I found 3 worms in this 2 by 2 plot. What I'm going to do today is level off this bit, so at least this bit of the garden will be level. And then I've got some pea plants. I might put the peas in today, so we'll have something in the ground. Let's get to it. I'm feeling very fortunate. There are lots of long, straight, really long. Look at that. Long, straight sticks that I can use for edging on. See the square back there? Whoop. Square back there. Whoop. There we go. I'm going to use that for my edging. Free! It's great stuff. I've never done staves and long poles to make a fence and make a boundary, so that's what we've got. Alternate poles, kind of deep. I'm going to fill in the trench and try and build it up. I might need to get some longer poles in. Learning on the job. It's taken me about an hour so far. It seems things seem to go a lot slower than I anticipated, but then I suppose it's a slower pace of life, isn't it, gardening? More relaxed, although today, you know, working up a sweat. I'm going to try and gradually flatten it out. So, dug a trench next to the bed. I put bamboo canes down, a board and a spirit level. I'll try and level that off if I can. Levelling off ground is not easy, I'd have to say, and it's a lot of work. So there's a lot of measuring, lots of putting bits of soil, taking bits of soil out, and then hopefully as I build it up the soil profile will level off. It won't be level with the rest of the garden, but it'll be level relative to the horizon. So, 2 more successful little staves made with the axe, 1 less so. Those are just going in to hold these things in the ground. I can't tell you how proud I feel Made my first raised bed. Well, it's not a raised bed, it's actually a sunken bed to try and get the levels right, but look at that beauty. Hey, look, I am tired. It's taken me since 7:30, it's about 2 o'clock now. Of course, I did the prep work earlier in the week, that took me a couple of hours. So I've got the little supports in, little places to demarcate it. You can see the difference in level. I have to go down here and it comes up at the other end. I've only done half the bed, that's all I've got time for today. It's taken a long time. So that's full of manure. There's bone meal and fish stuff on the top. And I can put some plants in. I had to think about what to put in first, and it makes sense to put in some peas or some legumes. Peas, because they'll fix some nitrogen in the soil. Everyone loves a bit of pea-ness. And to give them a helping hand, I've got some mycorrhizal fungi, which I'll bung in the bottom, so that'll help form a network. They can get the nutrients out. Right, best get them in then. This is the mycorrhizal powder, granules. So I'm just going to put a little, maybe a bit too much. Going to put a little bit in the bottom of there. Plant a little pea in. By pea. Firm them in. First one in. First plant in. Now for all those. That's the peas all in. Next up, in fact, last thing to plant today is a little purple, what is it called? I'll check the packet. Purple sprouting broccoli. I've got 9 of those and they need spacing, so I'm going to space them out and dig them in. Still here, must be about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Seeds. Getting some seeds in. I've got corn. These are applause F1. Got some red onions. Apparently the bulletproof radish which grow really quickly. So we're going to get these in the modules here and then stick them in the shed, and then it's home time. And that's it for today. Just did about 8 hours. Seedlings are tucked up in the shed until I can get them outside and under cover. I found a cloche in my shed, so I'm putting that on and see whether that keeps the pigeons off. Also found some of that. Little, I don't know, fencing. Again, I'm just going to see whether the pigeons go for these pea plants or not, whether they'll be safe in there. That was really the big thing for today. Making that bed. I've done about to here, so I've got all that to go. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know, I think I might take a day off. Just relax, enjoy the fruit of my labours today. Pigeon going over, I'm so pleased. Look at that. It's a start of a garden. It's not quite a garden yet, but it's the start, and feels good.